Thank you.
Today on University Report.
I think we tend to feel alone in a lot of our experiences, and music is a way to cope with that.
You'll meet a potential Latin Grammy nominee making music right here in the Twin Cities.
1, 2, baby.
Plus, what's up with the witch's hat? We'll look into the history and the future of a local landmark. And college volleyball season is almost here with some new Big Ten teams taking on the Gophers.
I've competed against some of those schools a couple times, and they're fun teams, great teams to compete against. It's a good time, and to go out to California, I think it'll be really fun for the team as well.
Stand by for that and more.
Good afternoon and welcome to University Report. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lou Raguse of KARE 11 News. Well, we're just a week away from the first serve of the college volleyball season. And this year, the Gophers face some new conference competition. Jelani Howard checked in on the team's midweek practice and has a look at what to expect on the court.
USC, Oregon, UCLA, and Washington will be joining the Big Ten Conference. The Gophers I spoke to use the same word to describe how they're feeling about facing off against these new teams.
Everyone should be excited.
USC, UCLA, and Oregon are all in the tournament, so it's not like I'm not sad that they are in the Big Ten. I'm excited.
It's just exciting. Really great competition, great people.
The Big Ten, now 18 teams, was already one of the best volleyball conferences in the nation. 3 of the 4 teams have appeared in the NCAA tournament at least once within the last 3 years. Minnesota will have to travel a bit more, all the way out to the West Coast. Head coach Keegan Cook knows this conference realignment will help the players and the fans, but maybe not the coaches.
And those fans should be excited to join the Big Ten, and all the fans win, all the players win, coaches get stressed, everyone else wins.
But he doesn't think the stress will get in the way of having fun.
One of my favorite years in volleyball, I think, is going to be this year, for sure.
Jelani Howard, University Report.
And the volleyball Gophers open their season August 24th at home against Iowa State. You've probably seen all those little free libraries all over the Twin Cities for years now. They actually got their start just over the river in Wisconsin and have spread worldwide. Today, Katrina Bailey talked with some of those who've gotten in on the movement. She learned that those little houses at the curb can hold more than just books.
Little Free Library is a nonprofit organization based in St. Paul. Starting locally in Wisconsin in 2009, it has now spread.
This Little Free Library in the Milwaukee Historic District is just one of the many that dot the Minneapolis-St. Paul landscape. This company is not only found here, it is found all over the world now, and it promotes reading by either allowing you to take or leave a book.
Anyone can make one through creativity and blueprints found online. Inspiration comes from many places. Mary Pumphrey got hers as a 40th birthday present. Lots of books and people end up at hers because it's the only one around.
Variety of folks, some I recognize, some I don't, kids coming through and grabbing a book or leaving one, which is great.
Tony Priolo got his inspiration from seeing one nearby.
The first night I went out to Silverfish, the Thai restaurant on the corner about a block and a half away, and I saw my first free library and said, I've got to have one.
Priolo said the library has been a conversation point over the past 8 years he has lived here.
It's always really wonderful, and I meet so many great neighbors. All the dog walkers, everybody in the neighborhood, it's a real blast. It's a lot of fun.
These libraries can include anything from books and magazines to canned food and coupons. You never know what you might find inside. Katrina Bailey, University Report.
My kids love those little free libraries. There are now 150,000 of them across 120 countries, that is, worldwide. 50 of them are in Minnesota. If that number sounds small, it's actually because a lot of the little book houses are not actually affiliated with the Little Free Library organization. In the Prospect Park neighborhood, just east of campus, the skyline has one famous feature. People call it the witch's hat, but it's been closed to the public for some time. Madison Bree has a look at the history and the future of the Prospect Park Water Tower.
If you're familiar with the Prospect Park neighborhood, you're probably familiar with the conical peak that hides in the trees. The neighborhood water tower, better known as the Witch's Hat, has been a landmark of this community for over a century.
Well, definitely in the neighborhood, it is the center focal point of the whole neighborhood, and it's also got a lot of importance for the city.
With history dating all the way back to 1830, this tower had some significance for the soldiers at Fort Snelling.
And it was called Tower Hill because there actually was a tower, an old wooden tower, that goes back to about 1830. And that was used as a lookout point for the soldiers at Fort Snelling for the crossing above the falls.
The current tower was built in 1914, so it's not surprising that it's showing its age.
But the tower needs some repair.
There have been some delays and construction has taken a bit longer than expected.
But the city of Minneapolis owns the actual tower itself, so they have to do the maintenance. And it gets a little bit complicated. That's why it's taken a while for it to get done now.
The landmark has made neighbors feel a sense of pride for being a part of something with so much history.
See that thing above the trees, and they call it the Witch's Hat? Oh yeah, I know that. Oh, that's Prospect Park. You know, that's us.
The goal is to get the tower open again within a year.
But the mayor, next spring, he wants that tower open.
Madison Bray, University Report.
That May 2025 reopening is not a sure thing. There's a dispute between the city of Minneapolis and the Parks Department, but the Friends of the Tower are hoping visitors will be climbing those stairs again sometime soon. There's just something social about sewing, at least when you're among friends. Coming up, we'll check in on a 21st century sewing circle.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature.
Almost like that. Okay. But you're good. Don't worry. Thank you.
Well, this afternoon.
Keep loving you. It's easy for me
to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
Well, it's beautiful out there, and I tell you what, the afternoon looks a lot better than this morning did outside. Alejandro Alvarez is here to tell us what kind of weather we're in store for as we head into this weekend. How's it going?
It's going fine. Yeah, this morning actually after the rain, it left a really nice weather today for us despite the rain. Let's take a look at the weather for the next week coming up. But this afternoon, people were out about the campus, taking advantage of the sunshine and few puffy clouds and the pleasant breeze that we had today. And the good news is there is more of this in store for the rest of the week. So tomorrow we're expecting to have a little bit of rain with the highest 74. Saturday, we're expecting a really nice day with 78 degrees, a little bit cloudy for the weekend, but Sunday's also going to be really nice weather with 83 degrees the highest and a little bit cloudy. So it's a perfect day to make a lot of plans and a perfect weekend to make plans and go out with your friends and family. I don't know what you think about it, Lou.
Well, Alejandro, all I think is you better save some of that good weather for the Minnesota State Fair because that's right around the corner. That always
True.
heats up, it seems like.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and really nice weekend for us.
All right, thanks so much, Alejandro. Well, in just over a month, we'll find out who the nominees are for the Latin Grammy Awards. Watching with special interest will be the friends, family, and fans of a Twin Cities artist who's indicated, meaning that she's made the short list of possible nominees. Gabriel Castillo introduces us today to Julia Wheaton, whose name and voice are worth remembering.
Quero dizer que loving you. It's easy for me to do.
Enchanted? This is Julia Wheaton, a 20-year-old American-Brazilian singer who just got indicated for the Latin Grammys nomination with her song Loving You.
Why was that one the one that was recognized? I don't think I could tell you exactly, but I think it's a great song and it deserves to be there, so.
Being indicated was not her first experience with the Latin Grammys.
My brother Lucas, my sister Lisa and I, we all went to Spain to Latin Grammys. And when I was there, I would have never imagined that what has happened now with Lovin' You was going to happen.
But now it is real.
The fact that the song that I was really able to take a leap and do more my own style has gotten recognition.
I feel great because I see all the work that needs to go, that takes to get to where she's going and what she has already achieved, and she's not afraid of it.
What people don't see, like people see the shows and the songs and the promotions and stuff, but she's practicing every day and doing voice lessons and just really diving deep into her craft, so it's well earned. We're very proud of her. A lot of the times, like she'll do like 5 takes and I'll mark take 3 as like, that's really good, but then she's like, again, and then we'll end up doing like 40 takes, and then take 3 is still the one that goes up.
I want to be someone who's inspiring, who's vulnerable and honest, and I hope that the songs I create, that people can resonate with them, because I think we tend to feel alone in a lot of our experiences, and music is a way to cope with that. So I hope that the people who can listen to it, that they can just relate to it and not feel alone, and in turn, I won't feel alone either, you know?
And if you like Julia's voice, well, you aren't alone either. Gabriel Castillo, University Report.
Julia will be performing along with her band Bloodline on August 24th at Woodbury Days. Nominations for the Latin Grammys will be announced on September 17th. If you've ever heard of sewing circles, the term might conjure up scenes from the last century or even earlier, when instead of social media, crafts often brought people together. But as Alejandro Alvarez learned today, even in the digital age, all of that we need to form friendships is a common thread.
Yeah, making my pockets bigger, because there's no reason for them to be as tiny as they are.
Sewing circles have been a thing for a while.
Why?
I know, right?
At least as far back as World War II. Chris, however, only recently moved to this neighborhood.
Because it has little like treads on the bottom. Really domestic personality, and I used to sew when I was a kid, and I wanted to get back into it again. Now that we're kind of getting settled, hopefully we don't have to move states again. I had inherited my grandma's
sewing machine,
badass beast of a sewing machine, and wanted to learn how to use it, because I hadn't really had a chance to play with it since she died.
Sewing circles also help people like Tasha keep sharp some skills they learned early in life.
I've been sewing all my life, but this is just me starting to learn to sew on the machines they have. People are really friendly. They have the sewing machines that the library, owns that you can practice on, and they've got the manuals, and the people who run the circle are really helpful and friendly, and yeah, it's just fun, relaxing, informative.
Sewing circles go every Thursday of all year round from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. right here at Ramsey County Library. They also have to offer other activities throughout the week. If you want to find out other activities to do, you can check out their website for more information.
This kind of stitch is the one I'm trying to.
Alejandro Alvarez, University Report.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we put a link to the information Alejandro mentioned on our website, z.umn.edu/University Report. There's an interesting exhibit at the Wiseman Art Museum here on campus, one that imagines a chapter of American history that, in many cases, was left incomplete years ago. Reporter Rachel Hoppe has been working on a story for our website and joins us now to tell us more about it. Thanks for joining us, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So first of all, what's this exhibit called and what does it entail?
Yeah, so the exhibit is called Seeking for the Lost, and it is based around an advertisement column of the same name that was in the Appeal, which was a St. Paul newspaper back in the 1800s. And the advertising column really featured the missing persons advertisements for people that were enslaved, and then their family members and loved ones were searching for them during Reconstruction.
And then the exhibit itself is portraits, or what exactly are they showing?
Yeah, so the exhibit itself is portraits of these people. The artist, Christopher Harrison, he used acrylic paint in kind of like a brown sepia tone color palette. Yeah.
And is this a Minnesota artist?
Yes, he's Minnesota-based, and he actually is an instructor here at the university in the arts department.
Interesting. And the people he depicts in his art they were from around the country?
Yeah, a lot of them were from the American South. A lot of them from like Alabama, Mississippi, states around that area. Yeah, and they were all real people.
And how exactly did he know what they look like or how to paint them?
So that's the interesting thing, is he really didn't know what they looked like. The descriptions within the advertisements were pretty bare bones, just this is the person's name, I'm searching for them, they're my brother, my family member, whatever. They were owned by this person, and this is the last place that I knew that they resided.
So when people see the exhibit, are those advertisements there as well to read, or can people get that information?
Yeah, they're in a couple places. They are incorporated into the portraits. In each one, the newspaper clipping is kind of like on top, like above the person's head, and then also in the plaque next to the painting, along with like other information about it.
Okay. And has it been there long at the museum?
Not too long. It opened up on August 3rd.
Very good. So before we go, remind us where and when people can see this exhibit.
Yeah, so this exhibit is at the Wiseman Art Museum here on campus at the University of Minnesota, and it will be on display until February 16th, 2025.
All right. Sounds really interesting. Everyone will have to check that out. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of University Report and this summer's Hubbard reporting experience from here in Murphy Hall. I'm Lou Raguse from KARE 11 News. Thank you for being with us.